In the city of Tijuana, 74 migrants were detained in a big, massive operation done by the Mexican authorities of the Institute of National Immigration of Mexico and also different authorities. The three hotels where they did this raid or operation were on the same circumference, where the speculation was that there were 79 migrants from other entities, foreign entities, inside of these three hotels, that their intention was to be smuggled into the United States of America. After the authorities went in, yes, the quantity was 79, but apparently 5 of them, as soon as they saw the authorities coming in and rushing, entering to rescue them, 5 of them fled the scene and ran away. They were not captured or detained, but 74 of them, they were detained and captured. The outstanding thing about this is that, and the unbelievable thing is, where 35 of them were from. 35 migrants were from the Islamic Republic of Mauritania, as they were hiding on this hotel. The rest of the quantity, all the way to 74, were from the countries of Colombia and also from Angola and other disclosed countries which we haven't received a particular statement from the authorities. Extra official information is saying that 3 traffickers or smugglers were detained on the scene, as it was a surprise ambush of an operation to rescue the migrants from being smuggled into another country, that is the United States of America. 35 migrants from the Islamic Republic of Mauritania, all of them men. We are located right here outside of the Institute of National Immigration offices in Tijuana, Baja California, where behind me you can see where the 35 migrants, this is the number that it just came out. It's an extra official number. And it was not 79 migrants from the Islamic Republic of Mauritania. What they're telling us is that is practically, possibly 35 migrants from the Islamic Republic of Mauritania. And the other amounts, it is around 74 migrants total. The other amount, they were talking about people from Colombia and people from Congo. All of them, they entered without legal documents to the country of Mexico, which this, started in an operation of 3 hotels where the Mexican authorities detained the 74 migrants, which 35 of them from the Islamic Republic of Mauritania. They are, on this immigration station waiting to see what is going to be their process, their legal documentation, and how this immigration process of them is going to be moving forward. Until now, the immigrants from Mauritania, they are inside of this immigration station waiting for their process to see if they are going to be returned back to their country, or are they going to be accessed into the claims of refugee and asylum into the United States of America. All 35 of them, according to the authorities, none of them had identification. And also, talking about generally, the 74 migrants with the 35 of the Islamic Republic of Mauritania, none of them had a legal document. None of them had a document that permit them to be legally in Mexico, which means that they did not arrive to the south border of Tapachula, where they have to receive the multiple migration form that we have documented before, the humanitarian visa that you have to go to Comar, the Commission of Refugees, to receive the humanitarian visa, and after that, you can receive the document of transit. None of the 74 had those documents, which tells you that possibly they were smuggled from all the way from south of the border or from their country of origin all the way to the northern borders into Tijuana. The most aggravated thing about this is that nobody knew about them. So if nobody knows their identity when they were entering Mexico, what was their intention? Their intention is to go to the United States without being identified. This is why it is so important to have filters of inspection on every border. There's no lie about this. This is the reason why when you incentivize an open border agenda, you will have irregular migration, and ultimately the one that is profiting out of this, not to deny about it, it is the organized crime.
Number one, we have intensified efforts to dismantle the transnational criminal organizations and human smuggling networks in an unprecedented level. Number two, we've brought greater efficiency to the process of unaccompanied children and uniting them with a parent, legal sponsor, or other qualified family member here in the United States.
The ones that they're smuggling individuals into the United States of America, the ones that they're making billions out of this trafficking and taking advantage of the asylum and refugee laws into the United States of America to smuggle individuals and weaponizing the migration as an agenda and ultimately abusing the vulnerabilities of people. Now, these people were intended to be smuggled into the United States. Nothing new. It happens on every daily basis in the borders with Mexico and the United States. But let me tell you something about it. There's hundreds of thousands of migrants right now waiting in Mexico to have a petition of asylum and refugee court date in the United States of America, which all the immigration court dates and all the immigration courts, they're collapsed. They're flooded with cases. There's thousands of people that they're awaiting on the other side of the border on a CBP-1 application that is collapsed. And nobody is getting right now a court date due through that application, or they're getting accepted due through that application. They're waiting for weeks and months for the application to work and to ultimately enter into the United States under the claims of refugee and asylum. There's thousands of Mexican citizens that they are awaiting a date, an appointment date for them to get a tourist visa legally to transport or to cross into the United States of America as a tourist into the United States. It takes about 1 year now because of the immigration influx and the flooded situation that is occurring at the borders. This is unbelievable. It is crazy. And the thing about this, I will put these two topics together. The thing about this is that now that the Biden administration has completely released a statement saying 30,000 only we are going to be allowing.
Appointment system for individuals to seek entry at our ports of entry. Just like the parole program, this can be done on one's smartphone with an app called CBP One. The app is designed to discourage individuals from congregating near the border and creating unsafe conditions.
Look how disastrous this has become. Look how the Biden administration has created this complete disaster. So Biden opens his mouth first and says, I'm going to allow 120,000 through 3 different states since he started as president. And also he said that he was going to create a better pathway for migrants, which it was a complete lie. You still see migrants dying in the Darien Gap, trying to achieve to go to the United States of America. Multiple children, unaccompanied minors, arriving to the United States of America. Women being abused and raped inside of the Darien Gap, trying to go all the way to the United States of America. So you collapse that. You don't achieve that. So the border starts getting flooded and flooded and flooded. And you start seeing this massive amount of people arriving. Then you got the Haiti situation underneath the Del Rio sector in the bridge with more than 15,000 migrants from Haiti underneath really precarious and inhuman conditions, waiting to get into the United States of America because you said that you were going to help all without no permission, without no permits. You said it. Nobody else said it. Multiple migrant camps located on different borders. Like you will say in Tijuana, there was a migrant camp that lasted almost 16 months of existence because you said that you were going to help every single one of them. Multiple migrant camps located on different situations. Then after that, you said, my God, I don't know how to do this. I think I'm going to implement again Title 42. You implement Title 42 knowing and thinking that possibly it's going to decrease. Then you have the rising of people in Cuba, that they're fighting the communist socialist system of Diaz-Canel. You get people fighting with sticks and stones because they don't even have guns and they don't even have nothing to defend themselves. They're fighting against this regime. They're trying to escape there. And then you have people fleeing through boats into the Florida place and through the Florida state. But immediately, Alejandro Mayorkas says, you know what? I'm not accepting nobody by boat, although he was a migrant that migrated as an asylum seeker into Miami on a boat. But no. You're saying, no, I'm not accepting anybody. So you deny that. Then after that, you start seeing flooding of people arriving from Venezuela, from the communist dictator, Nicolás Maduro, that it has completely almost destroyed that country economically and financially. And ultimately, the only thing that is surviving from that country is their own people. So those people start coming and coming and coming. You start noticing that and you say, hey, I need to do something, man. Title 42 is not working. I don't know what to do. What am I going to do? You go to Alejandro Mayorkas, and Alejandro Mayorkas goes to the Darien Gap, so-called visits the Darien Gap, try to find a solution, comes back from the Darien Gap and says, you know what, man? I think that we need to just decrease it to 30,000 by each entity. But first, let's deny all access to Venezuelans. So you denigrate one entity. You put out a statement and you direct yourself to one entity only. You have a migration problem that you are blaming consistently on the past administration. That is your own. Every leftist, their justification is the past administration. Nothing happened with Obama. That Obama was the deporter-in-chief of Latinos. The president that deported more Latinos and Mexicans in history was Barack Obama. The president that built more immigration centers of prisons was Barack Obama. The president that built the cages of children to be separated was Barack Obama. Nobody's talking about that. Nobody failed on that. And the president that brought the global compact on migration with the United Nations into the continent of America was Barack Obama. Nobody's talking about that. Then after you saying, oh, you know, it is the past administration, it is their fault, let us just make a statement. No Venezuelans are going to be accepted. So you close the door to those people. You say, the hell with that. You're not coming. But then you start getting flooded by all other countries from Central America. Everybody started noticing, okay, they closed the door to Venezuela. They blew that door off. So who's coming? They're coming now, Colombia, Ecuador, Nicaragua, blah, 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 blah. Countries that they're having a lot of problems with poverty, a lot of problems with insecurity. They're arriving. So now you're getting flooded by all countries. The organized crime is making a lot of money. The cartels are making a buck like this. Day and night. Now when you get flooded like that, you say, you know what, the hell with it. What am I supposed to do now? Let me put the law of only 30,000. Let me put a policy of 30,000. So you pass a policy or you do something with a number and you say only 30,000 Venezuelans are going to be allowed. Only 30,000 Hondurans. Only 30,000 Nicaraguans. Only 30,000 this. Only 30,000 that. All countries from Central and South America, like they are a product. They're saying, oh, only 30,000 humans from this entity and all of them, the hell with it. You created this idea of incentivization of mass migration, and now you're putting a number. What the hell are you doing? So after that, you put only 30,000. You think that you're going to decrease it. The business is already ongoing in Central and South America, in Colombia, Necoclí, in Panama, in Venezuela. It's a humanitarian business. People are not stop coming for help. So after that, now what you're getting a mass migration from other countries that they're not on that 30,000 list. Now the migration that is arriving is migrants from China and these kind of countries like Mauritania. You haven't put a number on that, which I have heard. So now the Darien Gap and places like that, they're promoting like it's a walk in the park, like you're going to Disneyland, like you're going on a camping trip. They're promoting the migration of people from China like it's a commercial, like it's an infomercial for you to migrate into the United States. After you see this video, what do you think? Look what they have, this open border policy is what they have created. This is what it has created. It's created a business, which you don't see the United Nations saying anything about it. You don't see no NGOs being in the Darien Gap helping people in the most humane way to not be trafficked, for their lives to not be put as a resource in the hands of a coyote. You see multiple migrants losing their lives at the back of a tractor trailer coming into south of the border of Mexico, being smuggled all the way to the north borders. And now you see people that they're being detained in Tijuana from Mauritania, from the Islamic Republic of Mauritania. Instead of helping, instead of your words, the Biden administration creating a better pathway, you have created the disastrous pathway, the pathway of death for migrants. Hundreds of them have lost their lives in the Darien Gap. And because of you promoting that everybody's going to be accepted at a certain level, a certain capacity, a certain quantity, first everybody, then you started, cutting down little by little, because it got out of hand. It got out of your hands. You're trying to be the nice guy, and you ended up saying that, what the hell am I doing? It's so complicated. Now you went down all the way to 30,000, and you went down all the way to an application CBP1. Because it got out of your hands, now you don't know what to do. And the problem is still coexisting in the jungle, in South America. The problem is still coexisting, that you have now shopping carts outside of these places where is the departure with boats, where they direct themselves into the jungle. You have these shopping carts where they sell camping tarps, where they sell boots, where they sell every utensil that you need for you to survive inside the Darien Gap. This is what you have promoted. People risking their lives in through certain difficult, horrible places for them to get into the border. And when they get to the border, you put a number now that is only 30,000. This is a problem that it wouldn't be a problem if you wouldn't open your mouth incorrectly, irresponsibly, like the way that you did. It was so simple to just say, this is the process, this is how to do it, and this is how it is going to be done. No, you completely change it. And because of that, an operation was done yesterday to detain. We don't know the history of these people. We don't know what kind of conditions these people in Mauritania that they were detained, 35 people, that they are foreign. What is their security condition? If they're running from persecution, if they're scared, if whatever they are. The 35 of them, they're men from the Islamic Republic of Mauritania. That intention is to be smuggled into the United States without being identified. Why? You have all these amount of situations when you know and you realize that the only way to have a controlled border is to have a filter and to know exactly who is coming in with the same idea of giving them the opportunity for a claim of asylum and refugee. I am a migrant myself. I believe that migration is a human right. It is a human right to migrate. But in that human right of you migrating, there is laws. And those laws need to be obeyed. I'm migrating. It's my human right to migrate. Yes, sir. You're migrating. Congratulations. Come in. Now, this is the process for you to migrate to this country. Okay. Nobody's neglecting. Nobody's denying you to not migrate. They're just telling you this is the process. Nobody's taking away your human right. When you have opened your mouth into a point, then not because you're trying to be humanitarian, and in a way that you have become humanitarian, you have incentivized the organized crime to make billions. Reality check for everybody. And everybody knows this has become a humanitarian business. Everybody knows this. It is a reality. It is a fact. Sadly, they're abusing the vulnerabilities of people. And people now have understood, sadly, migrants have understood, sadly, that putting their life on the hands of coyotes, it is a resource of transportation. Where are all these human rights organizations? Where is the United Nations? They're only providing what? To continue. Is the sad thing about it. Sad thing about it. In a nutshell, around 35 migrants from the Islamic Republic of Mauritania were detained in the city of Tijuana. Their intention was to be smuggled into the United States of America without being identified. And the Mexican authorities rescued them from being smuggled into the United States. Sad thing about it is that this is going to continue. These kind of situations are going to continue, where a lot of situations have happened that migrants are being kidnapped. They've been kidnapped. They've been extortioned by the same people that they think that they put their trust on their lives on, these coyotes and these traffickers, and it is completely the opposite. It ends up in bad terms. Some of them, they become extortion. Some of them, they make it. Some of them don't. The sad thing about it, when you put your life in hands of these kind of individuals. I'm Oscar Blue for Real America's Voice News. You can subscribe to our channel on Facebook. Become a subscriber. And you can get these kind of news videos for every single one of you. Also, follow me at Facebook, follow me at Twitter, follow me at Getter, follow me all platforms. Thank you so much for joining in. God bless. And remember, God's plan is our mission.